All right, let's talk about the tribulation and the mark of the beast. A lot of people are horrified that I don't believe the mark of the beast is out right now. I've even been called a few choice names, but I promise you I'm basing my opinion on what I see in the Bible. Of course, there's a ton of different interpretations, but I'm going to tell you mine. I will let you know that I have a tendency to view Bible prophecy literally. I think the reason a lot of people are getting incredibly confused is that they are applying symbolic and allegorical interpretations to texts that are meant to be clear. My belief is the Bible, including prophecy, is so simple that a child can understand it. We don't need secret documentaries. We don't need complicated websites on Rumble to understand what the Bible is saying. So try to stick with me. I'm going to cram as much as I can into this 3-minute time period. So to start, I do believe in a literal final 7-year period called Daniel's 70th week. The final 7 years will start when the covenant is confirmed with Israel. The Bible prophesies a 10-nation confederacy, and the Antichrist will rise out of that group. We may not know the identity of the Antichrist right away because he's going to be in a mix of world leaders. I also believe that a literal temple will be rebuilt in Jerusalem. In that temple, sacrifices will be reinstated. I know that's confusing to a lot of people. I don't believe that God is dwelling in that temple. I don't believe it's a temple for Christians. I know that Christians are considered the temple of God. I know all of those things, but the fact is the Bible prophesies a rebuilt temple. In that rebuilt temple, in the middle of the final 7 years, there's an event called the Abomination of Desolation, where the Antichrist stands in the temple and declares that he's God. There's also a prophesied image of the beast, which many think is some kind of idol. The Bible prophesies that the Antichrist will have some kind of mortal wound. Many believe that he's going to do a mock death and resurrection in order to fool people. In Revelation, the Antichrist is called the beast. The second beast is the false prophet. Let's hear the description of these characters in Revelation 13 through 14. He performs great signs so that he even makes fire come down out of heaven to the earth in the presence of men. And he deceives those who dwell on the earth because of the signs which it was given him to perform in the presence of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who had the wound of the sword and has come to life. 2 Thessalonians 2:9 says the coming of the lawless one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power through signs and wonders that serve the lie. Jesus warns us in Matthew 24:24, for false Christ and false prophets will arise and will show great signs and wonders so as to mislead, if possible, even the elect. So as we can see, there's going to be a lot of miraculous signs and wonders that are so strong that it would deceive Christians if it were possible. But the Antichrist will not be the only one having signs, miracles, and wonders. The Bible also talks about the 2 witnesses. I believe that they are 2 literal men. They're also able to call down fire from heaven and do supernatural miracles. We also hear about 144,000 from the 12 tribes of Israel. I also believe that they're literal. In addition to this, we learn about a massive persecution of Christians once they start rejecting the mark of the beast. In my understanding, there's no mark of the beast without the actual Antichrist, which is called the beast, and the second beast, the false prophet, being on earth, performing these signs, wonders, and miracles, and convincing people. But of course, true Christians are not going to worship any man that declares himself to be God, because we already have the Bible prophesying that these things are going to happen. The Bible also prophesies a huge war on Israel where 2/3 of the population don't make it. Included in this difficult time, we have the seals, trumpets, and bowls. It'll be a lot like the book of Exodus. We see water turning to blood. We see huge earthquakes. We see supernatural signs in the heaven. We see demonic locusts that torment people for 5 months. And we see a massive chunk of the world's population not making it. I happen to take all of these things literally. And I can't think of any of these things having happened already. So because of that, I don't think the mark of the beast is out, because I believe the mark of the beast happens in this larger context that I'm describing at the second 3.5-year period, after the literal abomination of desolation, where the Antichrist stands in the temple and declares that he's God. And Jesus actually tells us to understand what the abomination of desolation is by reading the book of Daniel. He even says when you see the abomination of desolation, the people in Judea need to flee and run. I don't have time to get into it here, but a lot of people are saying that certain things that are out right now are both the mark of the beast and the abomination of desolation, but that makes no sense with biblical prophecy. So that's my quick answer of why I don't think we're in the tribulation yet, and I don't think the mark of the beast is out yet.